All packages and updates made available by W3BI will be available to business partners on the Business Partner Portal. Log into the W3BI Business Partner Portal to gain access to your privately created packages, or the community packages that were made available to all. Your deployment package for BI in a Box will download the deployment file or any additional documentation that was provided, such as access credentials and passwords, that you will require to download directly from the W3BI Business Partner Portal. Alternatively, once downloaded, you can advertise the downloadable package on your own website as a business partner, which can then be accessible by your clients. Your business partner ID is encoded within the download package. This ensures that when clients deploy BI in a Box, W3BI has record of which client acquired BI in a Box from which business partner. The downloaded package will typically be a zip file or a 7-zip for ease of downloading. All you are required to do is to execute the extract here, which will extract the package content and create a container for BI in a Box named W3BI. The first being download, which has just been performed. The second step is extract, which will create the W3BI container. The third step is the initiate, which launches the W3BI container. The fourth step is to connect to your Sage 200 Evolution Pro database. And the fifth step is for the user to complete the subscription and payment process for their organization. We have now completed the download and extract processes. The third step is initiate. To initiate your BI in a Box container, find the XAMPP-Control-EXE file. Double-click on the file, which will launch the W3BI environment and ensure that you can now access BI in a Box. To verify that Step 3 has been successful, look at the modules that display Apache and MySQL. Apache will be running on port 84 and MySQL will be running on port 3307. If both modules are green, it means you have completed Step 3 successfully. There are no configuration activities required to launch the W3BI container. Once the containerized environment has been launched, you can access BI in a Box by navigating to localhost port 84, and this will launch your BI in a Box website. Step 4 in the process is to point BI in a Box to your Sage 200 deployment, and to do that, click on the Platform Configuration button. Use the password provided in the download package on the Business Partner Portal. Once successfully logged into the configuration environment, click on Edit Connection and you will see that there are two connections. The first one is DTG-SEC, which is for the BI in a Box container. To connect to your Sage 200 environment, edit the DTG_PLF connection and provide the connection settings for your Sage 200 deployment. The information required is the server name of your Sage 200 SQL Server database. This can either be the server name or an IP address. You need the access credentials of your Sage 200 deployment, which will also be available in your Microsoft SQL Server Studio. This will provide you with the identifiers of the database name, as well as your database username and your database password of the Sage 200 deployment. Once captured, please select Test Connection to ensure that the connection has been successful. If the connection is successful, click the Save button to store the credentials. The final setting required is to select the applications directory and defining where the W3BI container was deployed. Remember, BI in a Box is not required to be deployed on a server, it can deploy on a PC or even a USB drive. Once you have deployed it, you need to point to the disk drive where BI in a Box now resides. You can use the Edit button to change the identification of where BI in a Box has been deployed. Once successful, you save it. You would receive an error message if the configuration environment is not happy with your settings. From a configuration and connectivity perspective, the only two things you need to be concerned about is to edit the connection that allows you to connect to your Sage 200 database, and secondly, ensure that the application directory has been specified correctly for W3BI where BI in a Box resides. Log out of the configuration environment, run the URL for the BI in a Box deployment, which will be the local host port 84. You now click on BI in a Box, and you have access. The account admin credentials provided as part of the download process will give access to the client to complete the last step in the process, being the subscription and payment. Notice that the client will only have access to the payment gateway of BI in a Box, which will allow your client to complete the subscription process through the payment gateway.